listening to the legendary podcaster, the one, the only, T-Jam D. Your personal favorite, and the show you've been waiting for. Probably Offensive.
Welcome to Probably Offensive. I am your host, Anthony Scott Dover. And we are half a year into the pandemic. To give you your COVID-19 update, as I always do when I start the show. And I promise you that one of these days, we will not give you a COVID-19 update. Because one of these days, it will not be necessary. We'll be past the coronavirus. And I will not start the show giving you an update on the coronavirus and where we are. It's been half a year. It's been since January or February that we heard about it. The president and his men were briefed on COVID-19 in January, but the nation didn't hear about it. At least as far as I know, we didn't hear about it until February. So we are up to 2.8 million cases officially of COVID-19 and 130,000 deaths from COVID-19. And so I keep seeing in the news people who have died from COVID-19 who are not elderly. So every time we think that we're getting past this or that it only kills old people, you got to think again, because, you know, every now and then it kills a young person, a person in their 30s or 40s or 50s or something. And every now and then it kills someone younger than that. But those are usually people who have other health problems, a compromised immune system or something to that nature. I would like to say happy 4th of July weekend to those of you who are found some way to try to enjoy the 4th of July. A lot of fireworks were going off. I'm sure all over the country. In my neighborhood, I heard a lot of booms, a lot of bangs and explosions and boom, boom, pow, pop, 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 pop for hours outside without a break. I step outside my door and walk down my front sidewalk. And I see a lot of, or last night I seen a lot of fireworks going off in the air and heard a lot of it. Like I said, for hours without a break. This is unusual. And I think this year's because there was so many fireworks that were canceled around the country because of social distancing. People could not social distance when they go and watch the fireworks. So there were a lot of cities and counties that would usually do fireworks that decided not to this year. So I think a lot of people took it upon themselves to compensate for that. And they bought thousands and what had to be thousands of dollars of fireworks. So we heard a lot of big bang boom, big bada boom last night. And I seen some too. And I actually bought some fireworks myself. I did not shoot any fireworks off last night. I was going to shoot the fireworks off for my kid. She just happened to be with her mother last night. So, the president went to Mount Rushmore. Again, no encouraging of social distancing or wearing masks. He went to Mount Rushmore to see the fireworks show. He gave a speech at Mount Rushmore and invited thousands of people to come to Mount Rushmore to watch the fireworks. I haven't actually seen this on the news. I've seen the president's speech, but I did not see the fireworks. But again, defying the advice of doctors and scientists, the president goes to Mount Rushmore, doesn't wear a mask, doesn't encourage anyone else to wear a mask, and gives a speech and watches fireworks. Now, I've had a lot of people mention, what about the protests? What about the protesters? Isn't that sparking up a lot of spread of COVID-19? And the answer is yes, but here's the difference. The protests were not planned. They were a result of racial injustice and how people decided spontaneously to protest. It wasn't an event that was planned ahead of time, like these functions that the president are holding. And people are wearing masks at the protests. For some reason, President Trump is encouraging people not to wear masks, which is dumb. It's stupid because this virus is airborne, as everyone knows. So it's not really a political statement to wear a mask. It's to try to cut the spread of COVID-19 down to a minimum without it blowing out of your nose and mouth or entering into your nose and mouth. Those of you who wear glasses, that's a good idea too, because somebody, I don't know how many times somebody's been standing there talking and a little fragment of spit just fly right in your eye. So that's another possibility, a way for you to contract the virus by it flying into your eye from someone, who spits while they're talking. Some people spit regularly, but most people spit randomly. And that is your COVID-19 update. Like I keep saying, we're going to see where this goes. Right now, it seems to be getting worse. I thought we'd be out of the... I actually thought we'd be out of trouble back when this started in February. I thought by now we'd be past it. By the time we get to July, we'll be past the COVID-19 trouble. But I was wrong. We're not past it. In other news, let's move on to maybe a little sports. The Washington Redskins may change their name. Now, this has been... They may have already changed their name from the Redskins. I haven't heard anything else about it. This was a hot story on, I think it was on Saturday. It was in the news. The Redskins may be pressured. Their owner, Daniel Snyder, he said in the past when he was pressured to change the name of the team from the Redskins, that he was never going to change the name, but he's being pressured again. So Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Washington Redskins, may be in the process of changing the name of the team. Like, it's been complained about years ago, and he let it die down. He didn't change the name. They stuck with the Washington Redskins, and Daniel Snyder he never did change the name. So now it looks like it's coming back up, and he may be pressured into changing the name of the team. I don't know. I've never personally thought that the name Redskins was that bad. I think the logo is worse than the name, actually, because the Washington Redskins have their logo, what appears to be a profile of a Native American, with his skin is red. He's got long black hair with a braid in it and like a feather in his hair. So it's stereotypical image of a Native American. So that image may be offensive to some people. More than likely, not Native Americans, some white lady. And, some young person from Seattle may not like that symbolism, but they seem to hate the name more. The Washington Redskins. Redskins seems to be the problem with this name. Like I said, I'm not a Native American, so I don't know how they feel. I've never heard a Native American say that they were offended by that name, except for this group of attorneys that were Native American who were just looking to sue, just so they can lift their law firm up. They didn't want to sue for, because they're offended. They just were trying to bring attention to their law firm. There also was a problem for the Florida State Seminary